Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today I thought that we would play with one of my little CD holders that that I was so kindly given by my friend Amy. So as you can tell, I've grunged it up really nicely. And this is for our little vintage journal pages that we're working on. And on the inside of it, I have glued down some of that vintage sewing paper. See, there it is. I glued it down, and you're asking yourself, how the heck did I do that? Well, let me just tell you. You have to take this apart, and it's easiest to do it when it's wet after you've grunged it. I will tell you that. It's easier to do it then than it is when I did it, because I did it as it was drying, and as you can see right here, I tore it a little bit. So if you're going to open it up to glue on this inside page, do it while it's wet after you've either coffee dyed it, grunged it up, you know, something like that, because then it doesn't tear. I did it as it was drying, and I think I waited just a smidgen too long, and it tore just a little bit. So what I thought I would do was, I think I told you all, this book is roughly based on my memories of my grandmas. And my grandmas both loved to sew. They're the ones that taught me how to sew. So I got out some of my vintage things that I have been given, and some of my things that I think of, you know, that are vintage. That remind me of vintage, and that sewing paper was very vintage. So I've grunged this up. Now I want to ink up my sides here a little bit, and I'm just going to use my my vintage photo, and I'm just going to, you know, take it around the sides here real quick. And if you hear a big kaboom, we are having some crazy thunderstorms here in the Northeast. And I know there are other areas, parts of the country that are too. Ours are wackadoodle crazy for some reason. So if you hear a great big kaboom, that's what it is. I promise I'm not blowing up my house. I haven't done anything crazy like, you know, drop something on the floor, something like that. It's just the thunder of the storm that's getting ready to pass over me. So if you hear something like that, you'll also hear the boys, because they'll come running in here and fussing and feuding. Now I'm also going to do this line. Now remember, you can wipe this off right here, and I've got my baby wipes. So I'm just going to take and go like this, because I want to take and go around the middle of this. Because even though I did ink it up, well, I grunged it up with my when I use my oxides on it, I want to kind of highlight that a little bit more. So I'm just taking my dauber. Now, I could use my brush, but my brush doesn't really get it as dark as I want it. And my brush, I can kind of lean into it a little bit more. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful if you're using your dauber. If you're using this, you do have to be a little more careful. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little baby wipe here. Okay, and I'm going to take it around the plastic. And I'm going to clean it off. Just like that. Okay, and now I've got it all off. Okay, now I can save that for any other schmucky mess that I make. Either on the table or any place else that I make it. I'm going to put that away. Okay, so now we're ready to work on this. So I got out some of my Tim Holtz larger, I don't know if these are still called paper dolls or not, but they're my larger ones. And I also got out some of the smaller ones. Just kind of playing around with this, seeing kind of what I liked. And I found this little shape, and I really liked this. So I'm going to ink this up. This is This is called a sewing form or a dress form. And I really liked this. This was kind of my inspiration. Now, these I have found, you can color on these with your colored pencils if you want. You can color on these. And then I found these little cutie girls. I just love these little girls. So, you do have to be careful with these little ones. And you know what? I think this would be better to use a little finger dauber. Because they're so little, I don't want to break them. So how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had an opportunity to play with your book pages, and I hope you're working on a book with me. Oops, this one I think got bent a little bit. And I have decided, I think I'm going to change some of those pages. I'm going to put in some more vintage book pages. Maybe some vintage pages out of maybe some of the Reader's Digest books that we've used. Well, I'm glad she's getting glued down because she's getting a little lump-a-doodle there. Okay. And then I've got this little fabric cluster or ribbon cluster that I want to put over here. And then I sewed together these little things. It's just, and I want to put those right there. Now, these little cuties, remember I just told you you can color these in. Well, you can color in any part of them. And I want to take my pink colored pencils and I want to make their little tights pink. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Hold on a second. Okay, so here in my, well, somewhere there's a zipper here. So here in my colored pencil bag, I want something that kind of matches that pink of this. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think this one might do it. Yeah. Okay. So to do these little ladies, whoops. Let's get that out of there. I just want to give them a light shading of color. And I don't know if you can see them or not, but I mean, I can see them. This one, she's just got all wrinkly knees, and she reminds me of my nieces. I have a little niece that anytime she wears tights, that's what her tights look like. Now, I'm also going to kind of go over this dress just a little bit, like this white lace is just maybe an overlay to the pink underneath. So I just want a light pink underneath. And as you can see, I'm just holding my pencil, way back, because I just want it really light. If I were to hold my pencil, like I would normally if I was using my colored pencils, it would get too dark. Okay. And I just want it to look like that, this top layer with all the little glittery things is an overlay to a pink, maybe a pink chiffon or something like that underneath. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see. Let me put it against my sleeve. Can you see that pink? Guess it helps if I actually have it in the camera, doesn't it? I don't know if you can see that pink or not. I can. Okay, so let me put this back in here. All right. Now, I want to put this inside here, inside the envelope. So I just need to decide where I want to put it. So let's put these back together. Now, my grandma used to make us, for our birthdays and for Easter, she used to make us, all the girls, dresses. And for the boys, she made them bow ties. Now, if this was my family, this would be me and my next sister. And if it were my cousins that lived up there, this would be my cousin that's right under me, because I'm the eldest of us. This would be my cousin and her younger sister. But I think I'm going to like this over here better. Maybe switch sides with everything. And let's flip this. Like this. Nope, I want this way. Because see this little curl down here? I want that curl there. I want that. Okay. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah, I like that much better. I like that much better. Now, in my words here, I want to see. I thought I saw, let me put my stamp pad up there. Now, I have the one that says True Friend. I was looking for one that said either family. True Friend might work, and I could put it down there, right? I don't want anything really big because I think that'll overpower it. Okay, let's look up here. Oh, there's Heart to Heart. That might be nice. Oh, She Was a True Friend. I think maybe that. Oh, Friendship. That's the one I was looking for. Let me make sure. I know. People looking through words is not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? But sometimes you have to have the right word to get something to make sense, don't you think? Ah, there it is right there. Okay, so let's glue some things down. So that I want on the inside. So, and it's going to go right there. So I'm going to have to use my tweezers to place it in, put it in place. Okay, so I'm going to go on and put the ribbon on first. So let's go on and put it up here, just right across here. That way I can kind of see where everything else is going to go. We're going to put that there. And we're going to just put that right there. Okay. Now this, yeah, I don't want too much on it. Oh, there we go, right there. Perfect. Oops, 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 oops. Come over here a little bit. Ah, don't you dare. Right there. Right there. Okay. Now, these let's put those up there. And I want to spread those out a little bit. Come on, straighten up here. There we go. Now the reason I didn't hook them on with something like a pin is I didn't want them flipping and flopping around. Oops. Because they tend to get in the way. Especially on the pages. Okay. Let's get the little legs here. Okay, let's get you girls up here. Come on down here, ladies. Come on down here. Let's get you straightened up. Now, straighten up there. Now, this is going to need some glue, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's put that over there. Now, the top of their little wands have little what are they called? Don't you dare. Have little like stars on them. Well, I was going to put little sequins up there, and I didn't like the look of the little sequins. So instead, I decided to use my liquid pearls. So let's get these. Now, hopefully these aren't clogged. But if they are, that's okay. We've got a pin to unclog them. And we've got this to give a little squirt into. Oh, so there we go. There. So I want to use this to fill in our little star. There we go. Now we'll do this one. Now, if you wanted, you could also use your, you could use something like a little sequin on it if you wanted. If you had little teeny tiny star sequins, you could use that on it. Now, I had thought about doing their little crowns too, and I might still do those. You could emboss them if you wanted. You could emboss them. That would be really cute to emboss them. And I think I am going to do their little crowns. Just to make them look a little different. I'm sure at one time or another I wore a crown for something. And I'm sure my sisters and my cousins did too. even if it was in a church pageant. Okay, let's turn it this way. There we go. All right, so let's clean this off. There. Now our little ladies are ready to roll. Now, of course, I can't put this in the book until that dries. And then I will put that in the book. And I haven't decided how I'm going to use this little flap yet. Whether I'm going to attach it and sew it in the book. Or if I'm just going to use it maybe as a pocket. Or if I'm just going to glue it down on the page. I haven't really decided that far yet. But I did think this would be something fun to decorate. I've never decorated one of these before because I've never had one. This is the first one I've ever had. And they're fun to do. So, yeah, it's kind of that 3D look. And I do appreciate Amy sending it to me because this is my very first one. So, there we go. My very first CD pocket decorated to remind me of my grandma and all her sewing activities that she did for the grandchildren. So I'm so glad you joined me today for my my adventures in decorating, and I hope that you had fun, and I do hope that you try one if you haven't. I know this video is really short, isn't it? It seems kind of weird. But I hope that you create one, and I hope that you have some fun. It just seems like it's missing something, doesn't it? I'm sure I'll think of something. I hope that you try one, and I also hope that you come back and watch some more Ladybug Journal videos, because I'm sure there'll be lots more as we create some more decorations for our pages. So until I see you again in those videos, don't forget you can like them, you can share them, and you can leave me a comment. I love reading your comments. So until then, ta-ta for now.